wonderful, wonderful. We were down in Minneapolis last week, so. But enough about Ian.
Yeah, it's a good band, though.
Well, welcome to Superior.
Thank you very much.
Tape is rolling, so let's talk about the here and now. What's going on? What brings you to this?
I don't really know. Music, of course, my friend, as always. We've just started a tour about 8 weeks ago. We started in the UK, which is really good fun. We did some shows, ended up in London. Had Ian Anders from Jethro Tull come down and do a couple of songs with us, so it was really cool. And then we went over to Germany for 4 weeks. Then we went to Holland, Switzerland, Slovakia, Austria, and then we flew back to London for a short while, and we've come out to America now. We're doing 2.5 weeks here at the moment. Okay. Then we go back to Europe because we've got a TV show to do in Berlin for 25 million people, so it's worth going back. So we're going to go back and do that and do 4 or 5 festivals in Austria and Germany. Then we're going to come out for about another 4 to 6 weeks in America. So on it goes, my friend. You know, we just keep out there and keep out playing, you know. Doing what we do best and doing what we love doing best.
Absolutely. Well, okay, it's time. I'll let you answer the funny road stories so far.
Okay.
One of your guys told me, ask Mick about any interesting experiences.
Well, there are some interesting experiences. Yeah, I mean, we've had a first recently on this tour, and it was a fan. He was a lovely guy with his wife. They come along to the show, and they were standing in the front of the show for the entire set. And obviously, like, afterwards, we always go out and meet the fans, you know, because it's an important part of what we do, meet and greet, and we consider ourselves to be a people's band, so we go out and say hello to everybody. And the guy was there, sweet as a nut, and he said, "Could you please sign this and all that stuff?" And he had a carrier bag with him, like this, you know, and he was showing us and everything. He says, you know, and he says, my friend would have loved the show. And I said, "What do you mean, would have loved the show? Did he love the show or didn't he?" He said, "Well, he's here." And it was a carrier bag with an urn with his friend's ashes in it. And his friend was a very, very good Heep fan. And of course, we haven't been over here for quite a while. That was the only way the guy could come along and see the band. Don't sound right, that does it? But yeah.
Because he'd only died a couple of weeks previous.
He'd only died a couple of weeks ago, yeah. So, but I mean, it was quite a touching story, really. They felt that strongly about the band to do those things, you know. So
that would be a die-hard fan.
But it is a definite die-hard fan, and die-hard fan indeed, yes.
Sorry. Okay, well, that was an interesting.
So that was a very interesting experience, you know. But there's been many along the way, but I think that one tops the lot so far.
Okay. I'm probably going to re-ask these of you also.
Not a problem.
So, always looking to the future.
Yeah.
So tell me what lies ahead for Uriah Heep in the future.
Well, in the future, I think you know, we're structuring things. We're going to do a lot more in America. We hope to come to America and, you know, spend a large part of every year here now. We're networking with a lot of good people that believe in the band as much as we believe in it, and the fans believe in it. So that's very, very important to get that network of people all working together. So that's coming together really nicely. We have our present album that we're supporting at the moment on this tour, this world tour, is Future Echoes of the Past, which is kind of a 30-year celebration of the band, of which this line-up's been 15 years of that, coming into 16 years now, so that's really cool. Later in the year, we're releasing an acoustically driven CD that will come out around September, October. That's really cool because we revisit a lot of old songs that we've never played on stage before, along with some of the stuff that this lineup hasn't done before, definitely. And we've got a string quartet, and we've got 3 girl singers, we've got a pedal steel guitar player with us, and a percussionist, and a guy on uilleann pipes, you know. And once again, Ian Anders from Jethro Tull come down and played on a couple of songs, so we really made it a special evening. So that's all recorded now, and that will be released. And then after next year, of course, we're going to record a new studio album and come out with all guns a-blazing. You know, we'll have everything networked correctly, and we'll just come out here and tour, because that's what we love doing.
I can see in both of your eyes, all 4 of them, that you're very excited still about.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. This is our life, you know. We believe in it, we love it, you know, and it's the best job in the world, my friend, you know, to be playing music, traveling around the world, and meeting different people all the time. It's never boring, it's always exciting, you know, and you never know where you're going to be next. So that's really cool.
Okay.
Can't get better than that. It beats being on the roof or mending roofs in the midwinter. You know what I'm saying? You know, we know we're in an enviable position, and you know, we're the first to recognise it, and that's why we make, you know, I can't stand these people that just can't make time for people and fans and everything else. I mean, that's just, it's ludicrous, you know, because you forget what you're there for. I mean, without the fans, really, you're just a noise in the rehearsal room, you know.
Indeed.
And you must remember that, yeah.
Good one. Well, we'll pass the mic over to Bernie.
Okay, my friend. And then I'll sit here.
let me have
Then I'll
this.
sit here and nod like this as well.
A nod like the nodding dog. There we go. Already?
Yeah.
It literally feels like 15 minutes.
I was gonna say, when you joined up back in the mid to late '80s,
Yeah, it was late '86, I think, when I actually joined the band. Yeah.
did you think you'd still be here now and having so much fun?
I didn't know where the roller coaster ride was going to go or for how long, and you know, I don't want to tempt fate. I'm just along for the ride. And when Mick and I first met, the one famous night after the Marquee show, and we just said, you know, what's the plan of attack? And he said, well, I got 4 guys, hardworking guys. I don't have management. I don't have a record company. There was a lot of don'ts except for the musicians and the songs. And he said, there's only one way for this band to go. And we're still actually on that curve up. So, touch wood. Seen a lot of places I never thought I'd ever see.
Yeah.
And played a lot of places I've never even heard of. But we've taken the music to the people. And we've seen a lot of faces out there with big smiles. And it's been a lot of fun.
Very good. Well, sort of along the same lines is you're always looking to the future, and you have to. What would you like to see? What direction would you want to see the band go in?
I think the band is carried on in the same direction it's always had in mind.
Okay.
The one thing that I would like to see is the people in the industry side of things keep up with our movement. We've had some funny posters along the way over the last 15 years of, you know, the original Uriah Heep, and pictures of David and Gary and Ken, and even on this tour so far we've had one. We go, A, where did they get that picture? It's an antique. And I know a lot of the
We want those pictures back.
we want them back. We have new pictures. I mean, in the local paper here, there's one of our brand new promo shots, which is good that we know that our team with us, you know, working with us, is actually getting out there and doing the right thing.
Yeah.
It's nice to know that the radio stations are still playing the music, but there is life beyond Easy Living and Stealing and Lady in Black. Unfortunately, it's all down to record companies at the end. We're doing our job. We just want the people in the business to work as hard as we are. Then we'd be 10 out of 10 all the way along the boards.
Yeah, it's interesting. Going back to the Gillan interview last week, we asked him almost the same question, and he said for him it's fascinating because for Deep Purple it's right back to where they started, as being an underground sort of thing that has a core audience that not a lot of people know about. So that, and I think it's the same with Heep. Not a lot of people, I should say.
It's true.
That the younger generation.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like they started that way, they became famous. Now they're underground again, but still. So I'm wondering about your thoughts on that.
Well, it's luckily, we do a lot of work in Europe. That is our mainstay, especially in Germany. And we've had the hardcore fans that have been with us, for 31 years, basically. And now we're finding that there's a lot more 15, 16, 17-year-old kids coming to the concert because it's like in vogue again, this 70s music. And they're finding out that, okay, there's all this new music, but where did they get influenced from? And they're finding out about Uriah Heep. And kind of the Beach Boys of heavy metal with all the 5-part harmony and the big Hammond organ, and they're going, we're having some of this. So over there, it's a twofold audience. And it will happen here. It's just a matter of waking some people up. But we found out already in the last 9 days that there's a hardcore of Uriah Heep fans. And they stay in touch with each other over this internet thing now, and it's really unbelievable.
How do you think I got here? I only discovered this because of the net. It's like,
That's fantastic.
We've got a very good net fan base, and I think it's about 170 pages now. I mean, you can get lost in the Uriah Heep base there. It's really cool.
there's definitely a real thread of hope for your genre of bands is the internet. Can you explain? And you can feel free to either one of you chime in. The mic's picking up just
Okay,
fine.
no, I think you're very right there in your assumption, because what it allows you to focus directly to the fans.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to wait for a record to come out and record industry to do what they do through retail, or don't do is often the case. So we can go straight to our fans on the web and they can get it firsthand, you know.
Yeah.
And it's great. I mean, lots of them email me direct, you know, and it's a bit taxing at times, I have to say. It's a daunting task, because, you know, you clock on for a day's business and 500 letters coming from fans, and you start going, my Lord, how am I going to get to all these? But you just put them in one file, and I answer everything all the time. I'll go back to everyone. You know, it might take a week to get back, but, you know, I'll get back in the end, you know. And I think that's a great thing, that the one-on-oneness of it all, you know.
Yeah.
And the fact, if you've got products, you know, immediately those people that follow you ardently can find out about it immediately, you know. So it's a fantastic medium for us to be in touch with our fans, the fans to be in touch with us, and I think that's the way it will go. And then retail can take care of itself, you know.
Very good. And you want to add to that? Did you have
No, I just agree with everything you're saying. I mean, the technology today has just opened up this huge thing, you know, and communication is just so quick and so fast and personal now. You can get right onto us.
And when we
Bang.
finished our first show in Wheeling, West Virginia, when we were out with Mark Farner and
Edgar Winter.
I mean, by the time we finished the show, 1 hour later, it was all up on the web, you know.
Pictures,
They moved that fast.
reviews, what we were wearing.
Yeah, it was just fantastic, you know.
weren't wearing it?
Yeah, you can't beat that stuff, you know.
Oh, it's cool.
Wow. Yeah, that is a definite change in the last, recent, actually, if you consider the history.
I think also it's going to shake up the record companies a little bit, you know, because they've had it all their own way a bit too long. And I think that, you know, because of that connection that we can make now, I think, you know, you're not reliant on them so much as you used to be. And I think you're shaking the industry up a little bit, you know, and they're going to need to get a part of that now, I guess.
Very good. Does it get, I'm going to ask kind of a personal question for both of you. You being the founder, one of the founders of the band, and you being
The new boy.
joining in,
Yeah,
not even gonna use that
15
term.
years.
Yeah.
But does it, for instance, last week when we're seeing Deep Purple, I had several people come up to me because I had the camera and say, what happened to Ritchie Blackmore? Does that get, what is your reaction to, I mean, you're proud of your history, but where do you guys, how do you deal with that association to the past almost?
I think what you have to do is have a sense of humour and laugh it off, you know.
Yeah.
You can't let it get to you, because it will really niggle you a lot, you know. You tend to just laugh it off and go, well, where have you been, mate? You know, if you're a fan of the band, you know,
Right.
you know, come on, you know, things have changed and you should keep up with it.
Yeah.
But, you know, in general terms, we don't get a lot of that.
Okay.
But when it does occur, you know, we just generally laugh.
It's a matter of education, you know. They were obviously fans back then, and they knew of, you know, what the lineup was, and it's been a long time since we've been here. You know,
Well, the
1993
good
was
thing
the
is,
time.
you know, if they ask about David, for instance, you know, and you say, well, David, you know, passed away, bless him. He's up in rock and roll heaven now, and we think of him a lot, and he's with us with everything we do. But we have Bernie as our singer now, and they go, yeah, where did you get that guy from, man? He's awesome, you know, and it's great, you know. So there's always a positive to come out of it, you know. And I think that's the good thing to do, you know, when you get sort of any negative thing come into that, is, you know, to turn it around, and they walk away with a smile on their face, you know, knowing that they've, you know, we're back where we would belong, you know.
It is education, because I took I saw you in Minneapolis in '93 when you were with Blue Oyster Cult Nazareth.
Wishbone Ash, yep.
Wishbone Ash, and actually interviewed you guys. I don't know if you remember
That was a cool tour, that wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and we
Total
were backstage
Recall.
and we talked to you guys, and I took a fan with me on that, and he's like, oh yeah, you're right, he's Easy Living, and he was a fan of the original band. I said, yeah, but wait till you see these guys now. And he's like, well, I don't know. And when he walked away from that concert, he was blown away. He's like,
Oh, cool.
that Bernie
Well, that's
is
the
just
kind of
fucking
reaction
awesome, and, you know, and Mick is just shredding it up, and, you know, it's like, and
Well,
it's
that's
like,
the kind of
it is the
reaction we get.
education.
Yeah, that is that's the reaction we get. We've always said, through all our musical life, is we do our best talking on stage. You know, all the talking we can do here is great, but, you know, it's when you see the band, you actually see what we're all about. You know, and I think that's
Right
the important
now.
thing. It is
Yeah,
right now.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, once you've seen the band as it is now, it's got the same chemistry that made the 70 lineup successful. You know, we've got the same chemistry in terms of our writing and everything else, how we look at things, how we present things. The